I didn't think I would be here again so soon, but I am. We're back at the crossroads of, am I going to stay on 7.5 milligrams or go up to 10 milligrams? I have been bombarded with hunger, cravings, food noise, and a very broadening sense of what foods appeal to me. So I'll come back to that in a little bit. Hi, if you're new here, my name is Ginger and this is my channel Ginger Goes GLP-1, where we discuss all things GLP-1. Specifically, in my case, that would be Mounjaro. Now, I have been on a Mounjaro dose of 7.5 milligrams for 20 weeks now. I've been on this weight loss journey for a total of 36 weeks. So I started the 7.5 milligrams when I was week 17. So that was the first time I've taken it. And like I said, I'm at week 36, just going into week 37. This roundup is my weigh-in roundup, and I tend to do a bit of an overview of the week, which is mood, hunger, cravings, calories, side effects, sleep, non-scale victories, exercise, and any goals that I have coming up. So starting off with mood, well, though it's no surprise to anybody, obviously, this week was the big announcement at work about the changes that were going to be brought in sort of August, September time. And we had our big meeting on Wednesday. And yeah, it's worse than we thought. So I do still have a job. But anyway, it's worse than we thought, but it's done. It's done. We know where we are. And hopefully I will be able to move on and get my head around everything that's going on. So it was a very high stress week. I'm not going to lie. Again, lots of anger, lots of things going on, lots of processing. However, I would say because I'm on Mounjaro, I have handled this whole thing a lot better than I ever would have done before. Now, whether that's a combination of Mounjaro and my mood's better because I feel better in myself, I've got more confidence in myself, I don't know. I can't break it down that far at the moment. All I can say is that I know before when I've had similar circumstances, my mood has been all over the place, which it has kind of with this, but not to the same extent, not to the same extreme levels. So Manjaro has definitely had a very positive impact on my mood, but I'm not saying that the fact that I've lost so much weight and I feel so good and I feel so much confident hasn't always also contributed to that. So it's kind of hard to pick it apart, but yeah, I definitely notice the mood and how quickly I recover and how less elevated I get. I usually can get quite elevated, and there have been moments, but it hasn't continued on for a couple of days. That might be because I've been working on a lot of things. I don't know, but yeah, mood. I only have the positives of the mood from Manjaro, so I'm going to take that as a win. Hunger. Oh, we're back. We're back on that seesaw of, do I stay on 7.5 milligrams or do I go up to 10 milligrams? I know some of you are going to say, oh, just go up to 10. The thing is, the 7.5 does work for me. But what I have noticed, so I'm going to do hunger and cravings, and I did the same thing last time, is my hunger is definitely more pronounced. So when I get hungry, I get a lot hungrier. So like tummy rumbling hunger. So there's very few times now where I'm thinking, oh, I should really eat something. I haven't eaten anything. No, now I'm getting quite strong hunger signals. With that, so this is kind of cravings. Yeah, kind of cravings. With that, my choice of food or my desire for different foods is creeping back in. When I started this, I lost my appetite for, all manner of snacks and like cheesy things and nibbles and, naughty foods. I'm doing naughty. Foods that I used to eat that contributed to significant weight gain for me. I lost all of my appetite for those. I had no interest in them whatsoever. But I noticed that there's some of them creeping back in. I'm starting to think about different things. And certainly when I've been shopping, I've been broadening my food choices. That's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing, but it's noticeable. I think that's the difference. It's really noticeable. Like I had a really strong craving because people keep talking about it. So please stop talking about it on your own channels for those mini cheddars that we have here. Like they're like a cheese cracker, like Cheez-Its in America. So yeah, these cheese crackers, and because I heard people talking about them, I was like, oh, those would be really nice. 3-4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, I wouldn't have even noticed that they were talking about it, if that makes sense. So I think the fact that my scope is broadening, my choices are broadening, I'm starting to think about different things. And if I see an advertisement on TV or in a magazine, or you drive past something, I'm like, oh, that would be lovely. Again, I wasn't having thoughts like that a couple of weeks ago. So I just wonder if I'm coming sort of to the tail end of the absolute effectiveness of the 7.5 milligrams. What I will say, and I think I said this last week as well, is that when I do start to eat, I can get full quite quickly still. So where I have the desire to have these foods, I start eating them. Full disclosure, today I'm painting. I was up a ladder all day from this morning until about 20 minutes ago. I was up a ladder painting, and I had to go to the store and get some stuff. And I got some mini cheddars. And I also picked up some potato pancakes or potato cakes that were on sale for like 50p, end of the day on a Sunday. And I came back and I was going to have 2 of those just to sort of tide me over until dinner time. And I ate 1.5, and then I was really full. So where I am still hungry, and I genuinely was hungry, and so that's why I had them. And I've tracked them. I've put them into my calorie counting app. I got full after 1.5, and then I stopped. So is the 7.5 working? I don't know. Yes, it is working, but is it working as effectively? I am going to use this also as an experiment to see how much the thoughts are starting to get to me, or how am I able to keep them at the back of my head. Also, is it just the end of like a really horrible week? We'll see. I'll come back to that. So that's hunger and cravings. Hunger's gone up, get full quite quickly still, but cravings, I'm thinking about foods that I want to eat. Food noise, little bit. I would say I have 25% the amount of food noise I used to have. If before it was 100% from the minute I wake up to the minute I go to bed, I have a couple of thoughts throughout the day of foods that I'd like to eat. Okay, moving on. Side effects. So side effects this week, I've really only had the ear popping, which I still haven't called the doctor about because there's just been too much other stuff going on, and I really don't think it's a serious medical problem. I think it's very much related to the Mounjaro weight loss thing. I will do it now that things are settling down. But yeah, side effects, I've really only had the ear popping. And then I've had this weird, like I said, the hunger thing. But it's also like I can feel occasionally like nauseous. And I don't know if that's, again, stress and hunger, or I am just a bit nauseous, or I'm trying to not eat when I'm hungry all the time. Because I think that's the other danger, is like being a bit fearful about eating too much. I've had such a good run up to week 36. I've had such a good run with weight loss. I think I'm just a bit nervous about like being so ferociously hungry. that I have been sort of like, yes, I am hungry, but I am going to wait until lunchtime, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's not nausea. It's just a bit of an icky feeling. So, but again, I mean, sorry, this is the last time I'm going to talk about how stressed I am, because we're all stressed. But it's just been a week. It's just been a week. Sleep. Well, sleep's been all over the place because of everything going on this week. So I've been awake at 5:30, or I've been waking up at 8 o'clock when I need to be at work at like 8:30 on the days that I work from home. So has the Mounjaro been affecting my sleep? No. I think it's just down to getting this week out of the way. And I am drawing a line after this week. So, like I said, hopefully you won't hear me waffling on about it. Calories, I've probably been in the 12 to 1300 calorie range this week. I haven't really tracked as much as I normally do, but I'd say that I'm probably coming in about the same. Even though I have had a few extra hunger, cravings, and wanting things, I have been logging some of the stuff kind of like when I've done it, and I think I've stayed within my calorie range. Exercise, I've written here non-existent except for a few bounces. If you know, I have a mini trampoline, a rebounder, which I love, and I love doing the exercises. So I've got like a 10, a 15, a 20-minute one that I kind of do in the morning. I have not been doing that. I have not been doing any exercise. I've been picking up the weights every now and again and doing like 1 or 2 reps of weights. I've been doing a few bounces, and when I say a few bounces, I mean like 2 minutes to 5 minutes just bouncing with no music or anything, just changing the maneuvers, just really to do something, because I've been feeling bad that I haven't been doing anything. But I just haven't had the headspace for it all. So yeah, it is one of those things. So now, before I give you my goals, I will talk about my weigh-in this week. So if you know, last week I weighed in at 182.8, which is in the UK 13 stone even, and then 8, so 13.0.8, or in kilos 82.9 kilos. This week, despite everything going on, I weighed in at 181 pounds, or 12 stone 13, or 82.1 kilo. So this week I lost a total of 1.8 pounds, or 0.8 kilograms. So I am delighted with that, obviously, because of everything that's been going on. But I always say that for me, my belief is our weight loss is a week behind. So the weight I lost this week wasn't from what I ate this week, it was from what I ate the week before. That's how I view it. I don't know whether you agree or disagree, but that's just how I feel about it. So since I started at 247.8 pounds, or 17 stone 9.8, or 112.4 kilos. And I've lost a total of 4 stone 10 pounds, nearly 5 stone, or 66.8 pounds, or 30.3 kilos. So when I set myself little mini goals, which I set lots and lots of mini goals, so I've always got one in sight. So at the moment, I've got them all listed here. My mini goals are to get to 175 pounds. So that's 6 pounds away. To to achieve 30 kilos total lost. So tick, I've done that one. So that's a tick on a mini goal. Get into the 12 stones. Tick. I'm only just in by 1 pound, but I'm still in. So yeah, 12 stone 13 pounds. So I'm in the 12s. Tick. The next big one is 5 stone. So I am 3.2 pounds away from that total, like losing 5 stone, which is also 70 pounds. So I'm 3.2 pounds away from 5 stone and 70 pounds. And then I want to get into the 170s. So that's 1.1 pound away to get into the 170s. and to get into the dress that I bought for my nephew's wedding in October. Spoiler alert, I actually got into the dress yesterday. So I mean, it's still a little bit tight, it's snug, but I'm in the dress, and the dress is a size 14. I had another non-scale victory. It's not a non-scale victory, but I tried on a pink suit that I put a couple of weeks back. I'll put a photo up of it. And I've been thinking about that pink suit, and several people said to me, sorry, I've got itchy nose. Several people said to me, oh, you should get the suit, or get the suit, interview suit, that kind of thing. Well, I did. I went and got the suit, and I took a chance and I tried the next size down, which is a size 12. It's got an elasticated bit around the back of the waist, and I'm really pleased to say that it fits, and it doesn't fit tightly. It's snug, but it's not tight. I can sit down, I can move around. It will be better in probably 3 weeks' time or so. But I'm so pleased I went back and got that suit because it is going to be an interview suit, maybe. But yeah, it was just to really treat myself. I've lost this weight, and I have been buying myself little bits and pieces and clothes along the way, but I really wanted to give myself a decent treat. And so that pink suit is a milestone suit for me. And yeah, so I have reached now 27% of my original body weight. So I've lost 27% of my original body weight. And I calculated it, if I get to my goal weight, I'll have lost 39% of my starting weight. So I'm thinking I'm going to come in somewhere around so I put in 150 today when I was doing my calculations. So I've only got 31 pounds to go till I make 150 pounds. And I think that's quite achievable. I'd like to do that by the end of September. My birthday's in September, and I started this on the 1st of October 2024. So the end of September will be coming up to the 1 year mark. And it wouldn't be, that 150 pounds wouldn't be 100 pounds weight loss, it'd be 97 pounds, I think, something like that. So but it just feels like a nice number at the moment to aim for. And like I said, I might stop somewhere along the way. I might have a bit of a pause in my weight loss journey, just to allow myself to catch up and things like that. And I know it does slow down, because I've been watching some people that are aiming to lose 100 pounds, and they're sort of stuck around the 93 pound mark. So it is achievable, but I'm just going to see how I feel. Speaking of weight loss slowing down, I was watching a couple of other people who started at similar times to me, and they're all kind of, around the same amount of weight loss that I am. And I used to look at some of these people, and they used to be losing 3 or 4 pounds a week, and I was so jealous, and I was comparing my journey to theirs. Please don't do that. Learn from me, who did that for so long and made myself so unhappy doing that. But actually, now that we're all kind of like going down this road, we're all evening out to about the same amount. So everyone that I have followed and is around the same mark as I am have lost between 1.5 and 2 pounds average over the period of their weight loss. So it really does show you that you can start off, great guns, and, lose a ton of weight in the beginning and it slows down. Or you can just do smaller amounts and they build up over time, and actually you end up about the same percentage wise. So don't kill yourself in the beginning. I know it's really hard because you want to have as big an impact as you can. And the mental help that you get from losing sort of like higher amounts in the beginning is really, it is a boost. It gives you something to go on. But it can also, add to things like, saggy skin and, muscle loss and things like that. I've got saggy skin and muscle loss And I have been trying to sort of, do squats and things like that along the way, weights. I should have done it harder. If I tell you to do anything at all, it's try and do some light resistance training from the get-go if you can. You don't need to go great guns on cardio, but yeah, resistance bands or light weights or something just to keep your muscles going. I would say that was, looking back, that's the thing that I regret not being able to do. I did tear my rotator cuff, and it's been so good recently. I haven't talked about it because I haven't thought about it. The only way I felt it today was when I was, oh, I can feel that now, is when I was doing the roller, painting with the roller. So I'm delighted that it's dissipated to almost nothing. Um, yeah, which is brilliant because I was in agony for months and months and months. But it just shows you, like, do the exercises that they give you, and it can make a huge improvement. I think I'm going to wrap it up now. But yeah, I have kept motivated for the last 36 weeks. And I do apologize for banging on about work all the time and stress all the time, but obviously it is impacting on my life. So I wanted to share parts of that with you to show you that, you can be stressed, you can do less than perfect, but just keep everything in balance, keep talking about it, keep recognizing, when you're straying off the path a bit. I always joke about, like, it's a journey, because it's winding, and there are ups and downs and highs and lows, and life happens, and things get in the way, and whatever. But you just got to be honest with yourself about it and cut yourself a bit of slack sometimes. Allow life to just happen sometimes, and give up sometimes. Wednesday, when I came home from work, I pre-recorded my update on Wednesday because I knew I wasn't going to be in any fit state to do a vlog. And I literally came home, I ate some dinner, I got into bed, and I just cried for a couple of hours while I was watching Netflix, and was just like, what am I gonna do? But then I got myself back to baseline again by the morning and was able to go to work the next day. So life does happen. We are going to have these highs and lows. We are going to be faced with the option of turning back to our old ways, and we will slip and fall. And we will have, days where we overeat or we eat food that we didn't plan to eat. It's recognizing it and stopping it in its tracks, or right, I've done that now. I'm moving on, So anyway, I'm going to leave it there. I hope your weight loss journey is going well. I hope you are having some successes along the way. And if you have anything you want to share in the comments, please do. If you do like what I have to say, please do like and subscribe. And I will see you all back here on Wednesday for another midweek musing. And hopefully that's it. Done talking about work now. Okay. Thanks very much for sticking with me. Take care. Bye-bye.